Donuts.
Episode something of Garage
Time.
Weights and Business Takes. Hold on. 6 is up. 7, 8. I think this is 9.
What?
Holla.
That's legit.
Almost double digits.
Yeah.
Yes. So episode 9?
Yeah.
We'll just say, even if we're wrong, whatever. Then if we are wrong, we could just say like 9 3/4 and we could ride the Harry Potter train.
It's 9 something.
Harry Potter train, 9 3/4 platform. He got on the train. On fire. No.
Nerd alert.
Hey, don't knock my banter.
No, never. So we decided to start each podcast moving forward with like 2 questions of the day.
Actually, by
Cheryl.
a fabulous suggestion.
Yeah,
might I
Cheryl,
say, yes.
Tank girl.
Oh, yeah.
And that way, when you guys come visit us on the podcast, you can answer the questions too. But we love donuts, so you'll be hearing about donuts regularly.
Kind of donuts are kind of great.
Yeah, donuts are awesome.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with donut of the day, which is the good thing that happened to you today, or that you're proud of, happy about, or even like
Something that's just
whatever.
delicious.
And then stale donut of the day moment.
Stale
and that's
donuts.
something that was like hard to swallow.
Yeah, like when you bite into a stale donut, you're like,
but you're still gonna eat it because it's still a donut, but it's like
it's kind of like
not good.
it's like you take it and you're like, but you put it in the microwave because it makes it a little bit softer.
Yeah,
and you're like, I
I
could force it down.
Yeah, I'm still gonna take a bite of it, but it's hard to swallow, and it's like oof. So that's where we're gonna start. We'll start with Jensen.
Oh, okay. My stale donuts.
You're gonna start with the stale.
I'm gonna start with stale.
Okay.
Yeah. Because then I feel like if I start with like stale, then when I have my good donut later, kind of ending on a happier note, better flavor. Mm-hmm. So stale moment of the day. My stale donut today. Procrastination, commitment. So I have to work on this project, and I have to do it in PowerPoint. And whenever somebody says the word PowerPoint to me, I want to bash my face into the wall. It's not a program that I'm fond of. I feel that there should be better options out there, or just like fully designed commit. Like PowerPoint is something that you could lay out a template, throw things on, and click through and give your presentation. I would much rather take the time, providing it was given. A lot of times you're not given the time, but I'd rather take the time and open up Adobe InDesign and create some really nice PDFs, and run through the PDFs as my presentation, because then you have more creative freedom, whereas PowerPoint you're limited. So I've known about this for a while now, and I think it's because I really dislike the program that I'm procrastinating on it. Whereas I know is if I would just commit to it and get it done and over with, I wouldn't have to deal with it. So it's kind of like that stale donut aftertaste. Like it's still lingering, But so also another reason why I don't want to engage in the project so much is because the person that needs me to do it for them hasn't given me all the content. So I'm like, I already hate the program. I don't want to do it to begin with. They haven't given me all the content. Well, why am I going to start? Whereas I know that if I would have just bit into this stale donut and got the slides done that I was capable of getting done, the remainder would go quicker later.
Yeah.
But I guess that's something that I can improve on, is like even if you get like a project handed to you that you don't like and you can't delegate it out, you just have to own it. Like just commit, kind of get it over with.
Yeah.
Whereas right now, man, this freaking stale donut, I'm dropping crumbs everywhere, and I know I'm gonna have to clean them up later. So
feeling a lot of resistance.
Yeah, so it sucks. But so that would be my stale donut of the day. My donut of the day, my yummy, squishy, warm, right out of it.
What kind of donut is it?
I'm gonna rub my face in it before I eat it kind of donut. What kind of donut is it? I'm not a very adventurous donut eater. But like a warm glazed or like the French curler kind, I like those. One time I did have a Fruity Pebble donut.
Whoa.
I also had a Captain Crunch donut.
Yeah.
It was kind of sugar overload, but it was kind of like first time you ride a roller coaster, you're like, oh, I don't know about this. And then you're like, I love it!
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. This morning would have been like that warm glazed donut that I just want to rest my head on for a little while. Yeah, just like this soft fishy pillow. I banked on patience, and it's working for me.
Hey.
Yeah, so
Patience is always a solid bet.
yeah, so communicating with somebody over the course of a few months, I have not been aggressive at all. I've just kind of like I let it flow very like organically. I can't think of another term for it, but whenever we would communicate, I would just be cool and respond and be like, hey, let me know, or I'll buy you coffee, or just keep me posted, and like super chill about it, and it's looking to become a really fruitful relationship. All because, I can't say all because, but I know one of the main factors was I wasn't like hardcore pitching, selling, stopping by, dropping things off. I wasn't a churn and burn kind of salesperson. It was really just, let me know if I could help you with whatever and keep me posted. Essentially saying, let me add value to everything you're doing, and then when you're ready, I'm available.
Yeah.
And it worked out, or it is working out. So patience for the win. So today's cozy, warm, rest my head on it and then devour it pillow is based on patience.
I like it.
Yeah. How about you?
I do want to talk about approaching, like making new connections and not overselling yourself. That so that's like, side note. Remember that. Let's see. My donut of the day.
You're starting with the good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Would have been maybe like a French twist donut because it's good and it's like simple. It's never gonna be bad.
Consistent.
Is I think
It's a tough one.
I guess learning how to be like more confrontational but in like a gentle way, like learning how to have conversations that I usually avoid or like I let slide, and like I'm like because I have a tendency to want like peaceful like feelings more than I want like what's gonna happen if I address something that might not be totally important, but those things tend to snowball, and so I like address some things head on in like a gentle way, whereas usually it would be like if I do it it's gonna be like it was like very and that was good, and like the response of it was nice, like it was well received, so I was like, okay, I can do this.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And then my stale donut would have been like a cinnamon like raisin donut or something. like multiple days old, and I hate raisins. You like bite into it and it's like dry, like sand in your mouth. I would call it like humble pie donut. It would be gross.
It would be gross.
Is like realizing how I can be hyper focused on something when I want it, and I tend to attach like my emotional like well-being, like how good I feel on any given day to that thing and that outcome. So it's like putting how I feel. So your day is riding on how this turns out. Someone or something else, and when I step back and look at, and usually, and I have to say I probably do that because a lot of the time it goes in my favor, but when it doesn't, it's like the bottom's just dropped out, When it doesn't, I go to like a worst case scenario for why it's not working out for me. And then my day is awful. Yeah, I was like, well, yeah, there goes my mood, and I'm like, wait a second. And I think that like that can be, I'm suspecting that a lot of people might do that, so I was thinking the other day about how to define your value and your well-being, and I was telling like people in class, like one of the girls is young, she's in college, and she was like, I'm in the sorority and I feel like I have to take on all these responsibilities to prove to these people that I can do it, and she's really concerned about what people think of her. And I was like, if you were on a desert island like by yourself, maybe you had a couple animal friends or something, but like you are alone, you're the lone human, and somebody asks like, who are you, like tell me who you are, like about yourself, what would you say if there's no one else there to define it for you? Who are you? What kind of person are you? Like in XYZ scenario, like how would you probably respond to that? Like, tell me who you really are, quality-wise. And I was like, because that's how you define yourself. You know what I mean? If no one else is there, if you're putting your value in other people's hands and waiting for their behavior to tell you how valuable you are or not, like, that's a really dangerous game to play. And I think people do that all the time with the things they feel most insecure about. So whether it's like a job offer or like a project you're working on or a relationship you're in or a friendship or anything, I think a lot of times we derive our value and how good we feel in any given situation or day based on how things are going around us, you know, and we're looking to other people and things to mirror back how good we should feel, you know, and that's just dangerous as a thought. So I realized I do that in like specific situations. And when you scale back and look at it and think, oh my gosh, I just placed like my value right now and how I feel about myself and my situation in my life in this person or this like situation's hands, I guarantee you're never gonna be like, that was a wise choice. Like, that thing is so stable and so great that like they should definitely be dictating how great you feel, you know? No, it says no one ever. But we constantly do that, right? Like, I'll feel better when blank happens. When you are waiting for something else to happen to make you feel good, that means you're placing your value and your emotional well-being and stability in someone else's hands.
And that is why I have a limit on my commute for work. Because a morning commute can ruin my whole day. Every meeting after that commute could be perfect, but because that commute sucked, I'm like, oh, my day is so screwed. I'm so dramatic. No, you're absolutely right, though. That all makes a lot of sense.
You know?
For sure. And I'm sure we all do it. I know I probably have it a million times over. My commutes, right? Yeah, we shouldn't let our day ride on the results of a thing.
Yeah, a person, place, or thing.
Nouns.
You know? I mean, and if we look at it that way, then like there's no reason we should ever be feeling anything but pretty good. If we define every day who we are and how we feel and how valuable we are, and it's not contingent on outside factors, and those outside factors can't influence it, then we should be feeling generally pretty good. So note maybe where you put the value and who you're letting and what you're letting define who you are and how valuable you are, and take that power back and define it for yourself, and don't let anybody fuck with that energy, and you'll be feeling pretty good. That's what I discerned. I was like, whoa, okay,
don't let anybody fuck with that energy.
You know what I mean?
We're gonna quote Katie on that. Let's hashtag that shit.
Essentially, you won't be taking anything personally.
Because
it's
going with
not
no expectations.
Right? It's always easier said than done. But that was my humble pie moment, and I was like, oh damn, okay. And if you feel like you're too enmeshed with something that is doing that to you, then I think the only thing to do is step back, distract yourself, do other things, like quit focusing on the thing. It's like funneling money into an account that just keeps draining itself and it's not going anywhere. It's like pull back your resources, wait a second, redefine yourself, and then continue. And if it's somebody who's like funneling money from you, like energetically or literally, like, don't fuck with them anymore. It's not good.
You don't need that negativity in your life.
Nah. Yeah, that was my stale donut, which was actually not like, it was hard to swallow, but then I was like, that's the thing.
Well, we always learn when we eat the stale donut. Don't eat the stale donut again.
Don't eat it again.
So there's always a lesson with the stale donut. But the daily donut, that warm, cushy one.
Yeah, like you just want to be eating those. And these donuts are like, don't even have calories in them.
Calorie-free, warm, cushy donuts.
The calories in the donuts.
Yes. What are we chatting about today? Are we chatting about, what did you say, the connection thing?
Yeah, because I found...
I'm supposed to remind you, but I don't remember the connection thing.
Yeah, value. So I'm starting a new website in September.
Oh yeah, gotta talk to you about GoDaddy.
Yeah.
That's another day.
Yeah, that's a secret. Was it bad?
No, but it might postpone a little bit. Segue.
Man. Okay. I can find a new host.
No, that's all good, because that would take even longer.
Okay. So, yeah, and I was having somebody look at like other sites I've done, and like it's hard when you want to put out like a product or service and you want people to buy it or use it, right? And it's hard to like write about it or talk about it. I guess write about it more without sounding too pitchy.
Yeah.
and like leading with like, we can help you, let us help you kind of thing. It's hard to do that. And so I got some like stale donut feedback that I was like, and then I was like, well, you know, maybe that's true. And so, you know, like it was basically like what I got out of the conversation was like, you just basically want to write about what you believe in, like put out on the website, chat about it. There should be nothing salesy in it, like, you know, are you feeling all these ways because like we'll help you and sign up now and like all this stuff. It's like just have a conversation, you know. And so when you're talking earlier about like I'm just gonna like introduce myself, it's like the whole courting process of a client. So at first you just want to let them know that you're there. Hey, I'm in the community, we are here. And then moving forward, like here's how we could add value. And I think that skipping the piece of just introducing yourself, which should be like the first page of your website, right? Just introducing who you are and not being like, oh my God, you need my services, here's why, you know? It can be hard because you almost like want to create a sense of urgency and like, you know, tap the right people and put the keywords and all that stuff. But at the same time, like, I get that if it's representing you and you're your brand, it should be like, hey, this is me.
So with the homepage of your website essentially being your first handshake.
Yeah.
Right? Your first impression.
It would be like, hire me now, you need me.
Exactly. You would never say that to anybody, right?
Yeah.
You'd say like, hi, I'm Katie, you know.
That's really all I would say.
And then you might say, so what is it that you do? Or what is your passion? Or what do you love, right? And in turn, they would maybe ask you back, like, well, what about you? So instead of immediately saying, well, I could help you with sleep consulting, or I could help you with life coaching, you would just say, life coaching is a huge passion of mine. You know, it's an opportunity for me to be a servant leader, and I could give back, and I could share my knowledge with others, and so on and so forth. That's not salesy. That's explaining your passion, right? So for the copy on your website, instead of being like, you can do this or you can do that, and I could help you with this and I could help you with that, instead, just give them your knowledge. So like, when this happens, this can be done, or if X and Y does this, then Z would help with X and Y, or just a weird combination of basically you're providing them an education. So everybody out there in podcast and YouTube world, when you're creating your website or you're planning your services, consider yourself not a salesman, but a teacher. And the reason why I say that is because if you teach them about UV rays and how certain lenses on sunglasses protect them, well, you're not just trying to pitch them, buy my sunglasses. You're providing them extended education, so they're going to see you as an expert. Well, are they going to trust Joe down the street selling sunglasses, or are they going to trust somebody who's really educating them on like why that UV protection is really great for your long-term vision, right? Yeah. They're going to trust the expert. So for them to go onto your website and see a whole bunch of, buy this ebook, or hire me to help with this, then it's a full-on sales model. Whereas if they logged on and they saw something on your website that said, top 5 tips to help your toddler sleep in the first 4 months. Well, that's more of an education piece, right. And then they have the option to read more or contact you if they want to. But really, it's like, here are the 5 best things I could help you and your family with. Take it. Yeah. And do your best with it. And in fact, let me know how it works, because then you're just adding value to their life without expecting anything in return. Right. And if you could do that, if you could add value to your website user's life without an expectation in return, then when they actually do contact you, it's like, oh, well, that's great. Right. That's the bonus. That's the donut, right? Yeah. So go about creating the content just to provide like a great education for people, but remember, when you're writing, you have to speak their language. I've built websites for attorneys before, and attorneys will send me all this copy, and it makes absolutely no sense to me. And they'll be like, well, you don't need an attorney. I'm like, well, one day I might, and I still don't understand what you're saying in this paragraph.
Well, it's even better. So, that, like, yeah.
You know, yeah. So it's like I have to tell them, like, you have to speak my language. So all you sunglass people with, you know, UV film on the sunglasses,
right.
You're not talking to other scientists who came up with the UV protection. You're talking to the mom who's going to put that on their teenager while they're at the beach.
Right.
Explain to the mom why that's best for their child.
Yeah.
You know?
Unless you're an attorney that only works with attorneys, like, none of that copy's good.
Yeah. So, you know, in the case of, you know, your copywriting and stuff like that, honestly, like, explain what, you know, a day in the life of, you know, having a sleep consultant, you know, should be like.
Like that.
You know, and maybe, you know, point out the ups and downs. Don't just point out, like, the highlights, right? We all like looking at highlight reels, but if you look at the course of Dominique Wilkins' career, you know, he was the human highlight film, you know, for the Atlanta Hawks, but how many times did he miss a shot? You know, we only like looking at the highlights. We don't like to accept all the other things, but he's still one of the greatest basketball players of all time. So you're going to let them know, be like, look, there's going to be nights where you fall asleep crying, and I don't know what I'm talking about.
That could be true.
There's going to be times that you fall asleep at night crying, and your child is still awake. You know, it's like, it's not an easy process, but be fully transparent, and they're going to respect that.
Yeah.
They're going to, one, it's going to be kind of like whether they say it or not, it's going to be like, wow, that's a great article, thank you. You know, they're going to respect it because the full, like, brutal honesty of things, like, oh my gosh, I have fallen asleep before my kid just because I was exhausted, you know? Just be real. It doesn't have to be about sales. If they see you as an expert, they'll contact you.
I like it.
When you're doing the writing, so we have to understand that, I don't know the numbers, so any stat that I'm about to say right now, I can guarantee you is wrong.
Made up stat time.
Yes, but we're going to go into this hypothetical scenario that Jensen knows his shit about stats. He doesn't. Okay.
Okay.
We're there.
We're here.
Let's just say, out of the 100% of Google searches,
okay,
right, 40% of them are by device.
Okay.
By phone. We'll say by phone.
Okay.
Okay. Of that 40%, 75% is by voice.
Oh.
Okay. So 40% of all are done by phone, and
like Siri, look up whatever.
And then 75% is done by voice. So it's like, okay, or hey Siri, right? So with that being said, 75% of 40% are doing searches by phone.
Okay.
Eventually, the 40% is going to be 60%, and then it might go up to 80% by voice, right? So what that tells us is we need to write articles how we talk.
Yeah.
So you need to write an article like it's a conversation and use keywords and terms and phrases that people would use to search. So if I had a toddler, mine are all grown now. Well, grown, not here. And they weren't sleeping.
Yeah.
I might be like, why the fuck isn't this baby sleeping? No, I'm kidding. I might say that. I don't think I would put that in Google though. I might say, how can I help my 2-year-old sleep better?
Yeah.
Right? So maybe a title to one of your blog articles is how to help your 2-year-old sleep better.
Okay.
You know? And then you're really targeting a genuine, problem or issue that a lot of parents are probably having. And they're searching for that term because it's a knee-jerk emotional search.
Right. Like,
I just want to help my 2-year-old sleep better. Mm-hmm. Or I just want to help my toddler sleep better. Or what do I do during this teething phase about sleep? Yeah. If people are voicing that into their device, whether that's Siri, Google, Alexa, whatever else there is,
yeah,
that's going to show up in the Google results or the Bing results or whatever, Safari. So if you have those on your website and you're writing like people are talking, you're going to have a lot of better opportunities to be found.
True.
So as opposed to writing like you're coming right out of their textbook, like write as if you're having that conversation with me. You know, like I just asked you, Katie, what do I do to get my 5-year-old to go to bed earlier? You know, how would you answer that? You would answer me in conversation. You know, duh. Silly person.
Done.
So, like, how would you answer that question? You would answer that question in a conversation.
Right.
Write your article like that.
I like it.
Yeah.
What do you think the value is of having, like, so what would help me get into that mindset is maybe doing, like, a YouTube video just talking about it, right?
Yeah, no, sure.
And then do you think that there's, like, value in having, like, if I have my own YouTube channel and I, like, record a video on, like, how to get my 2-year-old to sleep better, and it's a conversation, and then posting the video and then, like, writing about it underneath it?
Yes. So you don't even really have to write underneath it. You could simply have the video transcribed and put the transcription in there if you wanted to. At the end of the video, prompt users to ask questions like, you know, what kind of problems are you having, or what have you experienced? Have you tried any of these things? To create that engagement in the YouTube video.
Yeah.
And then you're basically setting up your own beta testing, you know, and you're going to get more questions in those comments. So then you could use those questions for latter videos.
Because if people like to, like, talk and listen more than they might like to read, that's where we're at, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna YouTube it.
So, and then that's also like, you know, you do that YouTube video, and then you also write a blog about it, you know, but not the transcription, but you actually write a blog about it. And then you could put the video at the end of the blog, and you could say like, hey, you know, watch this, or you know, for a more in-depth conversation, you know, watch this 5-minute video or whatever.
When you're doing YouTube videos, like, do you want certain things in the video to be, like, uniform each time, so you, like, are, like, pumping your brand? Like, should I be sitting in the same place each time? Like, how many similarities there should be from video to video to keep it, like,
so
cohesive?
a lot is good about consistency. You either want to be consistently never in the same place,
okay,
or you want to be consistently in the same place. So I'm working on a video series right now where I'm never in the same place.
Okay.
It's a 2 to 3 minute video, and I'm always recording outside of a different store or place in town because I'm promoting Winter Park. You know, so I'm always somewhere. So the hook of being consistently inconsistent is, where is Jensen going to record his next video?
Gotcha.
In your case, I would almost think so. And you know this, parents love structure and routine and consistency. You know, spontaneity doesn't always work when you have little kids.
Yeah.
So for a parent to sit down and always see you in the same place, I think that's going to be a comforting feeling to them, because they'll feel like there's more control going on, as opposed to, like, randomness.
I feel like sitting in, like, a comfortable chair, rocking chair, like a cup of tea, looking all, like, cozy.
You know,
hello, like Miss Doubtfire. Welcome.
I'll send you a video that I really like. It's a video of a gentleman, and he's talking about startup businesses. And he's sitting on a stool, if I'm not mistaken, and I think there's a chalkboard on the back, and he has some cool things going around, like good decoration. And then there's a chalkboard on the back, but every video the chalkboard has a different, like, phrase of positivity. Yeah. You know? So everything's the same, but inside you're like, oh, I wonder what his, you know, positive thought of the week is, right?
I'm
so
gonna steal that.
The chalkboard is always different. So
that's a really good idea, because for, like, so on the new site, this is where things get, like, interesting for me, is that there's, like, 2 totally different offerings of services. So, like, it'll be very clear, but part of it will be, like, sleep coaching for kids, and the other part will be life coaching. And they're totally separate. And so I think with, like, I like it because, like, with the sleep, yes, I can be uniform and consistent and, like, fulfill that part of my own personality. And then with coaching, I think there's a lot more room to do
absolutely
whatever.
For sure.
I do like the idea of having, like, I would be totally down with that. Is that, I can use that idea, can I?
Yeah.
Like having a chalkboard with a different, like, word or topic,
I
whatever
am
it is.
100% sure he is not the only one that does it.
Or he got it somewhere else.
Exactly, yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Here we are. But because you can, I could just carry a chalkboard with me, and when I got the urge, it would be like, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
So when you're writing your articles, write like your average conversation. Make sure you have a video. Not every article. You might write more articles than you make videos. However, if you have an article about this and that would be great for a video, make sure you put the video on the article page, because then you're driving traffic either way.
But if I'm just doing a video, should I still put that on the on a blog page?
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then you got the people on YouTube, but then you also have people visiting your website. So you want it to be relevant in all places.
And if you're just putting up a video, should I always do like a short description, like in writing, or like?
The title should really tell the user what the video is about.
Okay.
And then the caption underneath the video. You mean like in YouTube?
Yeah, like should it? Because I know with like sometimes with SEO, it's like that's not long enough what you wrote. Like you know what I mean? Like
I don't think length for YouTube. I don't think length matters. Tags and keywords matter. So YouTube length, the description's there. I don't think is going to be like a huge, dead ringer for that. When it comes to your blog post, you want to have, more than 500 words, 600 to 1,200 words.
Yeah.
1,600 words max maybe.
Okay.
Because you don't want the read to be super long, but you also don't want it to be like the length of a tweet.
Yeah.
But for the YouTube videos, precise words. Make sure the user doesn't have to read a lot to know what it is.
Yeah.
You don't want them spending more time reading your captions than they do watching your video.
Right.
And the longer the user stays on your video, the better YouTube's going to rank you also, because then YouTube's going to be like, wow, it's a 3-minute video and they're staying for all 2 minutes and 59 seconds.
Yeah.
So just to get straight to the point and let them click play is going to really benefit you.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then like for like the words people most search for, should I always be trying to figure out what those are and stick them in there somehow?
That helps. You could always do a keyword search. There's all kinds of keyword tools that you could get online. But it's also sometimes great just having that interaction with humans. In past clients, be like, hey, before we started engaging, what did you look for online?
Yeah.
And
ooh, I'm gonna add that to my intake form.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, because, it's a real genuine question. So, especially if you have clients that you could go back and you can ask, even if their kids aged out, you can still refer back to them and find out, because sometimes hearing it directly from that person's mouth is going to be huge. You're keeping a great relationship by making them, giving them ownership in your new project, and then they might have friends that are having kids and they're going to recommend you. So, that really helps in a lot of ways, going back to some clients, and saying like, hey, I know we haven't spoke for a while and I hope things are going well. I'm working on a new website right now and we're really working hard to like add as much value for you as possible. When you sought me out before, what were some things that, you were really looking for?
Yeah.
And then you get the words right out of that person's mouth, as opposed to some Google algorithm that's going to tell you keywords.
Yeah.
So that could benefit you. And then again, it keeps your brand in front of them. You're like, oh my gosh, hey, John, Katie just called me. Isn't it so great that she called to see, I was able to give her some advice.
Yeah.
So that goes a long way.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good advice.
So
I like it.
Yeah, so write your articles like you're having a conversation. If you could knock out some videos, that's huge. Yeah. Understand the consistency, consistently being inconsistent kind of thing.
Teach people instead of selling.
Add value. If you could add value and they see you as an expert, you won't have to sell. They're going to want you to help them,
I actually have to write these things down.
Well, we have it recorded.
I know, but I want to start, you know what I mean? Because I'm in the mode of content creation.
And if you listened or you watched the past episode, Katie's into lists.
Oh yeah, so this is another list.
Yeah.
Be a teacher, add value, make videos, day in the life of.
Consistency
with filming for sleep. Get a chalkboard. It's true.
Get a cute one.
Cute one.
Yeah. Do y'all have any questions?
Oh, conversation.
I know you can't answer me now. Or you might actually be like asking the question while you're driving in your car right now. I can't hear you. So we're not there yet. However, you can hit us up on social or on YouTube, DM us kind of thing. And we'll get back to you. We're going to try our best to be as engaging socially as possible and taking y'all's ideas and applying them here. Like our daily donut and our stale donuts.
Yeah.
You know, that was a great
those.
idea. So
do it at home, like with yourself or with people you live with. And
but let us know if you have questions, especially about the stuff today or any past episodes. You'd be like, hey, Katie, episode 3. And we won't remember, so we'll have to go back and watch it. But it'll be good. You can still reference it. But engage with us. Let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah, I think something to add to the stale donut is to say what the stale donut was and then what you learned from it.
Yes, that was good. It kind of happened.
So it happened anyway, but I think that's the whole, like, circling back to accountability so that you remember that like, you're in control here. So, what'd you learn from the stale donut?
Stale donuts have calories. The daily donuts don't.
So many. But if you learn from it, then the calories go away.
Maybe they're healthy calories?
Yeah, they turn into good calories.
Hey! Yeah. You got anything else today?
I don't think so. Yeah. That was really helpful.
I'm glad. I think that was a good one today.
I think once you talk through things like that, if you don't understand them like I didn't, it makes like the idea of the project or like doing that content way easier.
Not so daunting.
You can get excited about it once you understand it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool.
True.
All right. So follow us, share us. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Share us.
Share us.
Oh, shucks.
You can't share us because we belong to us.
There's enough of me to go around.
Come visit.
Engage with us. And what's your friend's name?
Cheryl.
Cheryl, I have a feeling you'll be visiting us for a workout at some point.
She will.
Yes. And I think I'm going to be on somebody else's podcast. And I might be talking about this podcast.
What?
So when that podcast happens, I'm going to let y'all know on the next podcast of ours.
How about that?
That's a lot of podcasting.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's a wrap. Yeah?
Wrap.
Thank you for listening and watching to Garage Weights and Business Takes. Listening and watching and listening. Poke myself in the eye.
Taking it all in.
All that stuff.
All right.
We'll see y'all later. All right. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I liked it. My phone was blowing up. My watch kept buzzing.
Too popular.
I hope it didn't mess up the recording. There's always that fear, like, maybe I didn't plug in the mic.